video, I'm going to be talking to you about the importance of being more heart-centered, coming from the heart for our spiritual growth and evolution. So the first point that I wanted to make is in Western society, we are definitely placing more value on intellect and logic and thinking things through the mind, rather than listening to our intuitive thoughts and feelings, and feelings of unconditional love and compassion. There is a value placed on those, but we definitely tend to ignore our gut instincts and intuition, and as I said, really place value, especially in education, on intellect and logic. So saying that, I have been seeing, and I'm not the only person to say it, but there is definitely a shift towards more intuitive thinking, being more in a heart space. There is definitely a shift towards that. People are working more with holistic therapies and meditation, and so this is really, really lovely to see that, and it gives me real joy to see that, because I know how much it can help us in the moment when we're struggling. And people are really starting to listen to, or starting to come around to the idea of listening more to their gut instinct, their intuitive thoughts and feelings, their inner compass. Call it what you will. I think many people call it different things, but there is definitely a shift towards that. And by being more intuitive, this definitely allows us to be more what I like to call heart-centered, so coming from the heart. Now, when we're more heart-centered, it's like we're kind of feeling the love. And I always say to my clients, think back to when you fell in love for the first time with somebody. You felt energized, you were really positive, nothing was a problem, you were in the flow. And this is because love, whether it's romantic love or self-love or, friendship, intimacy, it's of such a high vibration that negativity simply can't exist. So, if we can bring that into ourselves more, embody more of that feeling of love for ourselves, which can absolutely be done, we're going to be really rocking. It would be so good for you and for us. So this is what this video is about, is how to be more heart-centered, so we are experiencing more of those feelings of self-love and love for others. It's all your unconditional love, your compassion as well, that we're working more with now, if we manage to embody that feeling of love. So remember that we've talked a lot, haven't we, in previous videos, or I've talked a lot in previous videos about our thoughts and our feelings having an energy. Now, I don't know how much you are aware of, but we all have this vibrational energy that flows through our bodies, and it's emitted through our thoughts and our feelings being hundreds of times more powerful than our thoughts. And this energy that is emitted through our thoughts and feelings impacts on our physical bodies and on those around us. So this is why it's really important, as I always say, to be aware of how you're thinking and feeling, and to kind of try and shift your focus to a more positive one, so that you'll really start to harness those thoughts so they become more positive. You're shifting towards the positive. This is really, really important. And when we do this, we start to attract more positive circumstances and positive situations and more positive feelings and people towards us. Okay, so in a lot of kind of spiritual cultures and spiritual practices, that they understand, and a lot of the spiritual traditions, they understand that this energy that runs through us and through our thoughts and our feelings, and they use lots of different spiritual practices such as Kundalini yoga, mantra chanting, meditation, visualization, energy work and techniques to kind of, I don't want to say manipulate, but shift the energy around, within our body. So certain traditions, and especially the kind of the ones that use Kundalini yoga, they know how to move this energy, the Kundalini energy they call it, that's at the base of the spine. It's coiled like a serpent at the base of the spine, and when they use certain practices like this type of yoga, the energy starts to weave up the spine, and it you know, it goes from the lower chakras up into the heart chakra and then higher. But you see, once it gets into the heart, magic really starts to happen, and there are practices that just focus purely on what they like to call heart mastery. So that's working with the energies of our feelings that come from our heart. And this is what I wanted to talk to you about as well, is the fact that our physical heart has 4 chambers, but our etheric heart actually has 3 chambers, okay? So we have first, second and third chamber. Now most of humanity are actually within the first chamber of the heart, or working towards the first chamber of the heart, which resonates with the green ray frequency, which is the colour green. And this chamber allows us to feel love. Allows us to feel love for ourselves, for others, but it is of a conditional nature. And when we think about it, you know, we'd say, oh, well, if, you know, I'd love you more if you did this, or if you did that, or if you were a bit more like this or like that. So it's more conditional. Now, as we start to use more spiritual practices like meditation, you know, certain types of yoga, or whatever it is, visualization, energy techniques, you may start to move deeper into the second chamber. This lies deeper within the etheric heart, and this chamber resonates with the pink ray. And this chamber is to do with unconditional love. Okay, so you've got certain teachers and people that have, you know, strong spiritual practices that will be working more with the second chamber of the heart. And I would say there's only some people, not many, but there are definitely some people who are working more with the second chamber of the heart. And then we move into the third chamber, which resonates with the blue ray, and this is compassion. This is complete embodiment of compassion. So I would say, you know, Tibetan monks, the monks have been, you know, focusing on their spiritual practice for years and years and lifetimes, if you believe in past lives, and they've got to that point where they've completely embodied compassion, and this is complete self-love and love for every single other being. So that's, you know, the 3 chambers of the heart, and this is what we're working more towards. This is what we call heart mastery, when we remember to come back into the heart space and just feel the love, you know, feel the love which will enable us to enhance our self-love, so love for ourselves and also love for others. And when you're coming more from this heart space, this heart-centeredness, you will find that your relationships will start to shift, they will strengthen, intimacy will grow and develop. You'll be less judgmental of yourself and of others because you will be more unconditional in your outlook. You will start to understand the nature of people in your lives and your own nature as well, and be more forgiving and understanding of those shadow aspects. You know, we all have aspects of ourselves that are more negative, that we all struggle with, you know, but we all have them, and it's about accepting those parts as much as the good parts, and accepting those parts of others as well as well as their good parts and positive parts. So don't forget that there's another little video that I've done in this mini training, which will show you a very simple heart-centered procedure just to help you be more heart-centered. And this is something that I use every day. I start my day with it, and I use it in the moment when I'm struggling. So please have a look at that, because it is so effective, and especially the more you use it. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and connecting with you soon. Bye.